Hey, it's Patricia Murphy. It's Friday, Casual Friday, and this is Seattle Now. This weekend, you can see a movie for the first time since March. Hooray? Sure, theaters can open at 25% capacity, but it may not be as much fun to sneak in a soda because you'll have to take your mask off to drink it. Either way, it's Friday, and you've got a couple of days to think about it. New York Times tech reporter Karen Weise and chef Eric Rivera are here to talk about that, Prime Day, and car tabs. But first, let's get you caught up. Police say they have arrested a man who threw a burning piece of wood into a patrol car while an officer was inside. The injured officer was taken to Harborview. SPD says a second officer shot at the suspect, but he wasn't injured. They say the man was seen carrying the burning lumber around the South Lake Union neighborhood. A Seattle area man is the third person in the country to have caught COVID twice. The nursing home resident was first infected back in March. 5 months later, he got a different strain, but has since recovered. Reinfections are rare. Only 20 people in the world are known to have had the disease twice. And a battle is brewing over the future of Seattle's famous elephant car wash sign. The iconic pink neon sign was supposed to be donated to the Museum of History and Industry after the car wash owners announced its closure. But a Belltown preservation group wants the city to landmark the spinning sign, keeping the pink elephant on its Denny Way spot. We had our first major windstorm this week, and instinctively I packed up all my summer clothes and shoes and pulled out my boots and sweaters, which I am definitely going to need because it's time for the annual fight in my house over turning on the heat. Yes, we are deep into fall. Karen Weise is here. She's a tech reporter at the New York Times. Karen, have you turned your heat on yet this year?
We have. It just started. It's been, a week or two. But it's not so bad. You can kind of keep the windows open points of the day and stuff. Yeah, so we'll take it.
We're definitely in that in-between period. Eric Rivera is here as well. He's the chef and owner of Addo in Ballard. What about you, Eric? Do you keep your house warm?
It's out of my control. I live in an older building, and they already turned it on. So I'm like, okay, fine, deal.
You're just going with it. Also this week, big transit news. Washington Supreme Court ruled that Initiative 976 unconstitutional. Justices ruled Tim Eyman's $30 car tab initiative was, quote, deceptive and misleading. If it was upheld, state officials estimate it would have led to a $4.2 billion, that's billion with a B, loss of revenue. So I guess it means I'm going to have to pay my car tabs now because they've been sitting on my kitchen table for a while now. Eyman says he's not paying as a form of protest. Eric, do you think you're doing your part for transit when you pay your tabs?
Yeah, for me, we have our business car that we make deliveries with, so I have no problems with it. And I have no problems funding public transportation for people. It's what we should be doing. Honestly, we're so behind other cities, and it's amazing to me to be in Seattle with all this tech and cool things that we have, but then public transportation is just a pigeon riding down the street in a little car, going do you want to ride or something? I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. But it's something that, to me, should be a first priority thing that we should be looking for.
Absolutely. And if you want a world-class city, you actually have to allow people to get places. So apparently, now that we're all going to be paying a lot of money still for our car tabs, this is going to happen. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Prime Day, also this week, one of the most important fake holidays in our region. Pretty amazing to me that Amazon can just invent its own day for the retail calendar. Karen, you report on tech. What does this say about Amazon's power?
Yeah, Prime Day has been kind of this iconic holiday that they created in the summer, and part of it was they build all this capacity every year to service the holiday season, and then it's a way to kind of use that extra capacity in the middle of summer and kind of push spending earlier in the summer. But it shows, it has become a retail-wide event. I think it's there's some research that's just coming out this morning saying that was a little bit less so this year than in the past because a lot of retailers are still gearing up for the holiday season. And Amazon sort of pitched this year's one as a holiday deal thing as opposed to something, over the summer about back to school or just fun summer things. And I don't know, it feels really early for holiday shopping to me. It's hard to plan ahead these days, let alone think holiday presents for people many months from now.
Totally. And what's weird about this is you're right. They couldn't peg it
to like back to school or anything like that. And at the same time, we're all sitting around contemplating our lives and stuff in our lives. So this year, more than any other year, I felt the excess of this declaration of this holiday.
I think there's like this weird impulse this year as we're all kind of stuck at home that like if I have this thing, it will make it easier. And you see the kind of like weird waves of panic buying. Like we bought a patio heater to be able to use our outdoor space longer into winter. And I feel like we got like the last patio heater in Seattle as a fluke. I just like went to Lowe's and I got what was there. And then a friend went like a week later and they were like all gone, and they were gone for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I feel like there is this weird fixation, but at the same time, I am definitely shopping and buying a lot less this year in general, I would say. I don't know. It's not appealing to me right now.
It doesn't feel good. That's true. Retail therapy does not feel as good right now. That is so true. Eric, where are you on this? Did you shop? Are you a Prime Day guy?
I kind of did something a little different. I co-opted their marketing and branding and made my own thing for my restaurant called Amazing Primo Days. I'm your cousin with all the deals. And so we did that for 2 days and basically had a bunch of like scavenger hunts and discount codes and you name it all over our site, hidden all the way around social media, and last minute, like, hey, this is 20% off. And like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, this is 35% off if you're awake. But, it's selling to people everywhere in the same way. We have a lot of guests who work at Amazon. We have a lot of guests who are familiar with tech. We have a lot of guests who play the game with us, So for them, it's cool because then they get to say like, oh yeah, I did this Primo Day thing that Eric was doing, but then still supporting a really small business, and I'll take it. I'll take it. And to go into the holiday thing, we're already selling stuff for Christmas. I'm plugging in New Year's here in a couple days. About 3 days ago, I put up my Christmas tree. So you got to get in that spirit. You got to get in the vibe. If you want to sell to people and have them get excited about holidays, you kind of have to put yourself in that. I'm probably like a day or two away from like coming in with a Santa Claus chef outfit. So we'll see.
Eric, I saw on your website that your 15% discount code was Puerto Rican Oprah. What is the story behind this?
Well, there's a difference. I don't have money like Oprah, but I'm a giver. If I had cars to give away, cool, but I have plantains and that's about it. So, I like to, keep people excited, keep them fed. I'm like everybody's little grandmother. I'm always like trying to feed people in excess. So everything sucks. At least when you're in your house, if the food is good, it can kind of separate you for at least 2 or 3 minutes, but don't realize that you've been in the same house for 7 months now. You haven't been able to go anywhere. We're a restaurant, and I'm trying to always find the edge and find a way that we can sell food to people. And if it means I have to, walk down the street with my gigantic inflatable mascot mask thing to like get people to buy things, I'll do it. It's fine.
Well, and we can go to the movies this weekend. Well, some of us can. 25% of the audience can go. AMC is opening up most of its theaters this weekend in Washington. Regal cinemas are going to stay closed for the time being. 25% capacity, which, of course, part of the new slightly relaxed restrictions for getting together. Before we talk about movies, I actually want to know what the last movie you saw was before lockdown. Mine was Avengers Endgame.
Fast and the Furious, whatever the latest one was.
Eric?
I saw The Joker, and it was terrible.
I agree with you.
It was the worst movie I've ever seen.
Not worth it.
I was like, what is going on here? Why does everybody care about this movie? It was terrible.
We saw the Fast and the Furious, and the power kept going out in the movie theater like over and over in these really dramatic like chase scenes and stuff. But honestly, we were so happy to like have a babysitter and be out. We just had such a fun night anyways, because whatever. The Rock is absurd in the best way anyways. So it was just like a ridiculous night. And I do miss that like, escapism of something like that. Even like, I actually love Fast and the Furious movies, so I don't want to diss it.
You can admit it here, Karen.
Yeah, totally. But it's not something I want to see like on a laptop screen,
That's a great point, because I don't like to go to the movie theater because of the surround sound. I find it very overwhelming and too loud for me. And now with COVID, I probably will not go at all. But Karen, maybe you'll go to the movies.
I don't know. I feel like I have a kid in preschool who's actually in school. So I feel like the bar for introducing risk is just high, and we just prioritize that. So it's not, I just don't see it happening anytime soon in our family. I understand why other people do it. It's not
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen for a very long time.
We talked to an epidemiologist this week who posited that sad movies would be safer than comedies where everybody's laughing in the theater because of the droplets, you know? So, Eric, if you see a
Please
sad...
tell me you have to wear masks, though.
You do,
God.
but her point was everybody's going to be eating popcorn.
Yeah.
And milk
gross.
duds.
I like milk duds, but I just don't like COVID milk duds.
So, and who needs a sad movie right now, Eric? I mean, seriously.
Just turn on the TV. Watch the news.
Open up Twitter.
It's fine. Just go look at the COVID counter and see who's getting sick and where they're getting sick, and just
right?
I mean, if you want to
Life
get sad,
is a sad movie right now.
We've been sad for like 8 months now. I mean, I know. It's kind of crazy to say it like in a light way how I'm saying it right now, but that's really it. And I can't imagine myself getting mentally prepared to go to a movie theater and sit around a bunch of people I don't know with whatever they're doing and however they're doing it and be like, oh, this is cool. I missed this.
For like 2 hours,
no.
right? For two solid hours.
Yeah, they're like, don't hang out with people for more than 15 minutes, but for the next 3 hours, you're going to watch this XYZ movie and everything's fine. But we have 17 million speakers, or that little function where the 4D movies like sprays water in your face. Like,
oh my gosh!
I don't want that. That's gross. It's like I don't like a terrible movie would be like the COVID experience, where it's like people sneezing on you and you get to do the 4D experience. I don't want that. I don't want that.
No. And what are we doing? I mean, we can put one person in an elevator, but we can open up a movie theater. I don't get this.
I don't get it either. And it's very performative, how they're doing. They have these videos of some guy in like a hazmat suit spraying seats down and turning on a UV light. And I'm like, what? No. They're like, we're going to check your temperature. I'm like, but that still is not going to tell me if you're positive or negative. What's the deal here?
Yeah.
So it's them wishing that they can have something and gearing up for maybe the holiday season, because that's very busy for them. But realistically, it's like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm sticking to streaming. That's our show for this week. Thanks again to my guests, Karen Weise, tech reporter at the New York Times, and Eric Rivera, chef and owner of Addo. Thanks, you two.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Seattle Now is produced by Caroline Chamberlain Gomez, Clare McGrane, Sophie Reed, and Jason Pagano. Matt Jorgensen does our music. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you Monday. Take the